achieved by understanding. And what is that understanding? That understanding is satsang. So what is satsang? Satsang has three parts: listening and learning, first part; contemplation and reflection, second part; third part, abide in. It means the practice, or nididhyasan, or you can say meditation, so that that understanding is settled completely. But in between, we have many steps. You listen one day, you skip the other day. You listen one day, you don't contemplate the other day and reflect and do not practice the other day. Then it does not work. That is what our masters have been saying. So let us see what I'm saying in a simple word. Peace cannot be achieved. If the Einstein says peace cannot be achieved by force, let us add peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom cannot be kept by force. They can only be achieved by understanding. So Eastern wisdom has a very clear method of understanding. Listening and learning, first step; external satsang, that is how I divided. And then internal satsang is the contemplation, reflection, and followed by the practice until mind abides in that peace. Mind abides means 24/7. You are aware. You live into that state of the peace and happiness. What is that state? That state is also awakening. Now see, I'm just making another statement to help you. We cannot tolerate pain or pleasure beyond a limit. Do you agree? You won a lottery of $1 billion and the heart attack. We cannot tolerate the pleasure beyond a limit. Did you understand that? We cannot tolerate even the pain beyond the limit. Unconsciousness. What we are searching? We are searching permanent happiness, peace, love, truth, and wisdom. Permanent. Permanent. Even it is beyond $1 billion. Master says you have to become seeker to absorb that level of permanent happiness. If you are not happy, if you are not a seeker, it is not possible. समझ गए अशोक? इसीलिए लैपटॉप खराब हो जाता है. That is why your laptop goes out of order during this session. Very good. So understand, now you understand. So the seeker, see, I have to become a seeker. Everyone, if you are a seeker, once a seeker, always a seeker. Last point, I'm saying I'm pointing you out so that, you should contemplate and reflect. Perhaps I have never left even a single session. And if I have left it, only because of the external condition, not because of me. One guy said, I have to go to a doctor because my dog is suffering from fever. So you find the time to go to the doctor when there is a session. You don't find the time otherwise. But what should I say? Close your eyes. Let us start with the first step. So being a seeker is very challenging. Sometime our laptop goes out of, why don't you check before? Eyes are closed, settle Sahasra. Sahasra, if you follow Sahasra, if you understand each step of the Sahasra, that is done. That is, what we say, that is a done deal. That is Bogo. Eyes are closed. You just check. Huh? What do you check? Place, position, and posture. Indians are not aware of Bogo. Buy one, get one. That is Bogo. So, place, position, and posture. Second point is, I made it so simple. Second point, you check, you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now you see what the seeker perceives internally, mentally. Is my mind looking at the world or looking at the body? That is the moment of being a seeker. So now, if you don't follow this understanding and you say, yes, I have a sensation, comfort, and steadiness, it will not work even if you do the practice for 50 years, my friends. That is why I quoted Einstein or Einstein, whatever you want to say, corrected according to your dictionary. It can only be understood, it can only be experienced by understanding sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And the moment your mind starts looking inside, you start noticing unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. Why they are there? Because it is they are the they are the or you say that mind is a non-seeker because it has unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. So what we do? Namah Shri Shankarananda. We introduce the Mangalacharan. Huh? Where is the meaning? Namah Shri Shankarananda Gurupadam Bhujanmane Savilas Mahamoha Graha Grasaik Karmani. You already know the meaning. Humility is the beginning of the journey every day. Every day you wake up in the morning and you do the practice. Second point, perception of the reality hides due to the delusion. Delusion can only be removed by understanding, it cannot be removed by practice. See, I read that Einstein read around 15 or 16 Upanishads, as suggested by one of the Indian guru. Perception of the reality hides due to delusion, so drop all the delusion. Dropping all the delusion is a lotus feet of the guru. And then addressing the great play of delusion that entangles the mind. Eh? And he referred to it as a crocodile of delusion. And what is the role of a guru? Recognizing the sole function of the wisdom to devour the monster of ignorance. This is the explanation of the quote normally people refer from Einstein. Basic message in this Mangala Charan is, it is like a parable. I heard it. A traveler carried a mirror since birth but never saw his true face. Over time, the layers the dust gathered. Belief, what are those dust? Belief, identities, fears, and illusion. One day he met a quiet master who said, "Don't try to become something new. Just clean what is not you." Pay attention. Clean what is not you. When I claim what is not me as me is a delusion, you have to consistently continue to listen, contemplate, follow Sahasra method until we clean what is not me, and then what is left. What is left is, that is our goal. So you already still the mind. Stilling the mind simply in the beginning means mind is looking inside. You cannot make the mind still in the world outside because the world outside itself keeps on changing. Everything changes. So still the mind makes you this place, position, and posture comfortable and comfort and steadiness, and you have invoked the inner presence. You want to still the mind? You are in anxiety, your mind is wandering, you invoke the Mangalacharan. So we already done it. Now, once we do it and we recognize the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. Let go of them. Let go is non attachment. I'm explaining and I'm giving you a practice of silent. S is the still the mind with the first two steps. Invoke the inner presence by noticing unwanted thoughts are there and then practicing Mangalachara. And then you pick up one. May there be happiness for all. May there be peace for all. And may there be peace for all as contrast to the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts in your mind. Let go of that. So let go is the L letter, and then comes the E letter. Embrace the present moment. Embrace the present moment. You can also understand and abide in that. How? Just a 3 point attention on the breath, and you are aware, the awareness is present behind the 3 point attention on the breath. You might be thinking I make the instruction very complex. No complex. Both modern science and Eastern wisdom says if I know anything, awareness is behind that thing. Awareness is behind Dennis because I know Dennis. Awareness is behind Christina because I know Christina. Same way. 3 point attention on the breath. Behind there is an awareness. That is the meaning of embrace the present. And there, now, nurture the inner peace. I think I gave you this practice before, a couple of weeks before. Today I'm quoting the Einstein. Nurture the inner peace. Nurture. Peace is not created, it is uncovered by saying on the breath, Om Shanti. Pay attention. You are saying Om Shanti because you recognize the peace is there. You are not saying Om Shanti because you want to create it. That is the meaning of nurture the inner peace. And then Continue teaching the mind. By understanding, teaching the mind means contemplation, reflection, and discernment and dispassion. You know, these words should become your daily routine. Silent, still, invoke, let go, embrace the present, nurture inner peace, and teaching the mind. When? All the time. So when you teach the mind, oh, I'm going to attend the session, let me check my laptop, let me, some unwanted thing may happen. That is okay. But it only happens when there is a session. So that indicates you have still to become a seeker. Why? We know it, but we don't say, now is the time to open your eyes. Sahasra, the second point, assess and audit your daily life. Assess and audit your daily life. So when I'm auditing my daily life, in the evening when I'm doing the mantra and I'm auditing the life, my mind will remind me tomorrow or day after tomorrow there is a session. I have to check each and everything. I have to be ready. Ashok is saying yes. At least he agrees to me with some points. Like Arman, we have an Arman in the session of Dennis in Ukraine. So you see, assess and audit. You remember. That remembrance is natural. You know, do not need to put it into the agenda. Why? It is a journey of understanding and awareness. So I told you that 2 points we are covering. So we'll go to the third point later. Uh, External, thought, speech, and action. Internal, emotions, attitude, behavior, and conduct. So let us start our sharing your experiences. Let us start with the Dennis.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of different events yesterday and today. The world tried to challenge me a couple of times, but I remained calm, peaceful, both internally and externally. And I continue to be regular with my practice with contemplation and daily analysis. So things are going very, very good.
Beautiful. If you follow the Sahasra verbatim, you remember which step I did not do. I can bet you an Eastern wisdom promises that you are going to change, and that is what is happening to Dennis. You know, I cannot be impacted by anything happening in the world outside. Is it possible? Yes. Go back to the Einstein. It can only be experienced by understanding. Yes, Dennis and, oh, sorry, David and Jerry.
Thank you. Just been finding when I'm coming from peace and happiness and all my interactions and observations that life just flows so much simpler and easier, and everything's still happening, but it's just how the interaction is going is a lot more peaceful.
Beautiful. You see, it is like a parable I gave you. I never see in the mirror. I keep the mirror in a safe box, and it kept on lying, dusting. That dust is a delusion. So that is why it seems very simple and easy. So when you say it looks so simple and easy, we are definitely a seeker. How are you, Jerry?
sir. I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, everything's been good. David and I we had a conversation recently about being present, and we have a goal, or you have something you want to get to, but once you set that, you kind of have to forget about it, because if you just focused on the end result, then you're missing the whole journey. And it's hard sometimes for people to kind of wrap their head around that, I think. But it really does disturb the whole journey, and you don't know how it's going to end, so it's brain damage.
Definitely, you are right. Why we forget? Because we become ignorant. And why there is an ignorance? Because of the delusion. Why there is a delusion? Because there is a lack of discernment, lack of dispassion. Opposite of it, it is attachment. I'm seeking something, I'm outsourcing happiness outside. Yeah, that is the very, you are right. I need not to forget. So that forgetfulness comes because of the dust lying on the mirror. So we are approaching, that is wonderful way to explain. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. I have just been moving a little bit slower after I think I was just, I didn't realize I was a little stressed for a while, and it kind of came down on me the last 2 days, but it has given me, I've tried to see the bright side of it, and it's given me the opportunity to just be slow and be with my inner peace. And there's been so many silly things that would make someone else, probably my old self, go crazy with things not lining up and outside factors coming into play, and it's just not working out. But every single little thing that has gone wrong, I've just gone with the flow, and it has not affected me in the slightest. And my partner, he's like, honey, like, he's like, did you just hear like what they just said? And I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm not going to react to what is me getting mad going to do. So it's been good. Thank you.
Yes, yes, that is another good explanation. Yes, one thing we should know, moment we start outsourcing happiness to anything, to any person, to any event, it is changing. That mind hides that changing aspect. That causes the delusion. So that makes me crazy. The world is changing, people are changing, I should be worried, but the peace is still present inside. So the more and more we return the mind to that state of the peace within is the journey. Yes, Ashok, you want to share something?
Sir, yes, sir. I understood that happiness is not longer, not outside, and not in honey, not in anything outside. It is inside. Happiness is inside.
Yes. Don't speak for the honey. Don't speak before the honey. Can you mute it? There's a lot. Can you mute it? Yes. Lot of noise is there, so I want you. Don't say before the honey in this period, otherwise you'll be in problem. So the third point is hold and apply the tools of the Eastern wisdom. Hold and apply the tools of the Eastern wisdom mentally, not outside. Sometimes people say, no, I'm doing prayer meditation, nobody should disturb, no disturbance, no noise in the home. then it is your big ego that is doing meditation. It will not work. It will not work at all. So sometimes we want to demonstrate that I'm doing it. I'm a spiritual guy. It will not work. So you have to apply mentally, hold and apply the Eastern wisdom tools. Now we come to the main topic, permanent happiness. So you have to understand the flow, the way this master has been teaching us in the last 10 verses. And then we will go a little deeper that how come the permanent happiness is our nature. We discussed happiness is an inner state, not found externally. External relationship provide temporary satisfaction. Misplaced expectations lead to anxiety and conflict. The moment I have an anxiety and a conflict, I have to first check mind where you have outsourced happiness, in which condition, in which event, in which relation, you will find your anxiety is gone. It can only happen to a seeker, it cannot happen to a non seeker. Daily is self aware. And how you become a seeker, I gave you an example. I already discussed. So, what happens? Why we fall into anxiety and duality? There is a glitchy app. Like in mobile app, we install some app and that it hangs and freezes. So we every day we install the glitchy app which outsources the happiness outside. Did you understand? I'm single, so I get married to be happy. I'm married, so I have a problem. I divorce to be happy. So you see, married to single, not single to be happy, so married to be happy. Not married to be happy, so divorced to be happy. Now what this is the glitchy app. What is the glitchy app? My idea of happiness is situated outside, is located out. That is why I'm searching outside. Now the master is saying, just imagine you are the president of the entire Earth planet. All the countries, you are a president of the entire world. All the countries do. 198 countries are there. So there is no problem of which country is rich or poor. You own even Apple and you own the Microsoft also. So there is no competition at all. Can you be happy? That is the question that is raised by the master. You get everything in the world. We are talking of the permanent happiness. To teach this aspect, every religion on this earth planet has created two words. One word is heaven. Whatever you desire, you think, you desire, and it comes to you on the table in a minute. That is the meaning of heaven. So it means you are the president of the earth. I'm making it in a logical fashion. That is the meaning of the heaven. Even the heaven cannot make you happy. You're lying on the bed in a big mansion with a 50 car. Mr. or Miss Universe is your companion. And then you have an extreme stomach ache in the midnight. You have everything. You have nothing. this understanding has to be settled in the mind. If this understanding is not settled in the mind, we cannot explore what exactly is the permanent happiness. So, what is the first step? I stop refreshing my glitchy apps. Means I become aware, mind, why you are outsourcing happiness outside. I'm making a very logical explanation of these verses, and then we will directly go to the verse. So I have to become aware where the mind is running after with attachment, with delusion. If I'm not aware, it will not work. Then I stop being a seeker. Then I will fall down. And that is the master is explaining the crocodile of delusion. I never think that I'm not happy in this relationship because I outsource happiness outside. So I divorce and I get remarried. So that is the basic problem. That is the glitchy app. So it happens in events, it happens in relationship, it happens in objects. It happens even in the house. Oh, this house is not good. So let me have another house. Let me have another car. Even, at a very subtler level. Oh, let me shave my head, shave my beard today. I don't look good. It can happen, and mind can cheat me in any situation, in any event. I need that extraordinary awareness. But why pay attention? That is the great masses. So metaphorically, I can say I have to recognize I'm the sugar, I'm not the tea. I'm not the sugar cube. I'm not the sugar powder. But it means I'm not the name in the form. Means what? I'm not searching happiness in the world of name in the form that causes the delusion. What that means? The happiness is within me. No, I am happiness. Compare it with the sugar, sweetness of the sugar. You take a pinch of the sugar at the bottom of a jar and at the top, on the right or the left, sweetness is the same. Look at the understanding. Sweetness is the same. So that sweetness is all pervading. I am happiness. Happiness is not within. It means if it is within, it is not outside. Sweetness is everywhere. Top, bottom, right, left, anywhere in the middle. Sweetness is the same. The master is saying that happiness. This master is saying, I'm talking of that happiness, which is all pervading. Our master uses the declared Anandam Vai Brahma. That permanent happiness is you. And that is the journey we are undertaking. Now the logic master gives. Everyone is searching the same thing. Everyone is searching the same happiness. And that happiness is me. Because that happiness is me, so my mind says, I don't want to non-exist. Can you ever think, I hope I will stop existing today? You have hundreds of suffering in your life. Still, something within me says, no, no, I will never stop existing. I will not. Even the fear of the death, pay attention, even the fear of death is actually saying, I'm not meant to end. I want to be. Do you see that awareness deeper inside? There's a lot of fear, but I don't want to end myself. That urge, that awareness proves that I am of the nature of the happiness. So what is that? I'm of the nature of the happiness. May I always exist. May I always exist is the first proof of Ananda, the permanent happiness. How many of us want to live? Well, it's a crazy question. We are living, we continue to live. See that? The simple answer comes from the mind. What? Why you're asking this crazy question? This is not a way. I want to continue to live. I want to continue to exist. So from there, the master is concluding that you don't love your honey for the honey's sake. You love honey for your own sake. It's a fact. It's a naked fact. I love house for my own sake. I don't love house for the house sake. And then we start fencing and decorating our house. Nothing is going to happen. Today you decorate and tomorrow you say, what a crazy stuff. Let me remove it and put something else. We have done it. I have done it. You have done it. Proof. Where is the proof? You don't love anyone for their sake. You love. Okay. Think simple in a simple way. Every day you wake up and your honey says, I hate you. Would you love your honey? Answer is no. Enough is enough. You don't love me means you don't love me. You don't love your phone as a plastic and a metal. You love your phone for your own self. You love the connection, the entertainment, the status it gives you. I have an iPhone. That's why you have a big ego, iPhone. I missed, no, I'm just think of one thing you say you love, a person, a food, a hobby. It is for your own self. Because I want to continue to exist, because I love myself. From where the statement comes, I love myself. Because I am of the nature of happiness. I am of the nature of love. I am of the nature of the wisdom. That is what the master is asking us to find out, to discover. So we understood Sat, existence, Chit, consciousness, Ananda, permanent happiness. We are Sat Chit Anand. We are absolute existence consciousness, and bliss. Bliss here means permanent happiness, which is independent of anything else. That is our nature. And once we have a clear understanding, we are aware of it all the time, then we have reached to that state. One more point it has come to my mind: existence. Fundamentally, there are only three yogas. Once you are a seeker, you understand that our nature is Sat Chitanand. So that Sat is achieved by Karma Yoga. Chit is achieved, understood by Gyan Yoga, the knowledge, path of knowledge. And the permanent happiness is understood by Bhakti Yoga. Then what about Hatha Yoga, Tantra Yoga, and other yoga? They are offshoot. They are branches. They are extension to reach to the same thing. So we do lot of Hatha Yoga, 200 hours, 500 hours of training. Doesn't stand anywhere according to this teaching. We have not understood the essence of yoga. But just, now come to Sat Chitanand, the triple nature of the self. Triple nature, simple way: you are a husband, you are a father, and you are a boss. But you are only one inside. At the external level, it is Satchidanand. Internally, so we are trying to find out how come we are of the nature of happiness, 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 because everything we love for our own joy. I love you because you continue to like me. That liking makes me aware of my own love. And if you start disliking me, gone. Gone. It's an honest conversation, honest observation. So why we do not have an honest observation? Because of the delusion. I have to become a seeker. I have covered that topic many a time. Sat, Chet, Anand. Now see the sequence, the way, step by step process, the way it can happen, so that you should keep in your mind where you are missing in a journey. The first the first verse is Mangalacharan. We have been repeating it again and again. Second verse is hidden, that I have to follow the Sahasra. I created the Sahasra. But even after Sahasra, I have to live in discernment and dispassion all the time during the day. Now, you are crazy, so let me discern. So that craziness does not affect me, that word. Something is happening in the world outside, near me, in my relations. There is an extreme pain. I discern, I separate, I maintain that poise. So that is the second verse is talking about. If I don't live in that discernment and dispassion, then you are missing the point. I told you that this woman, she is 70. When her Queen Elizabeth died, she told me that I have to grieve for her for a week now. So she chooses a particular week, and then she forces her mind to grieve. This is an extreme craziness. Can you ever think of it? Oh, my dad died in 89, so I will choose 1 week to grieve. What sense it makes? I remember Okay, I respect. It is an absence of discernment and dispassion. And it took me 3 months to guide her that what you are doing is wrong. Because if I straight away tell, you already know what will happen. So the first two verses, you understand. Mangalacharan we have to do. Second verse is discernment and dispassion. So I made a Sahasra. So now your mind is ready with discernment and dispassion. You are a seeker. And then the master goes on explaining in the next 3 verses what he explains. What is a waking state? Are you a waker? No, I'm not a waker. Are you a dreamer? No, I'm not a dreamer. And then he goes into in waking, pay attention in waking. I receive the inputs from 5 sense organs. They are known separately. Are they known separately? Eyes see the form, ears hear the sound, skin feels gives me the sensation of touch, but consciousness of them is the same. There, Master says, find out. To contemplate and reflect. The consciousness behind the eye, behind the ear, behind the touch, behind the smell is the same. So the same thing happens in the dream. And same thing happens in the sleep also. In dream, I say I saw the dream, I heard it, etc., etc. In a waking state, I refer to an object of the sense organ. So these objects of sense organ are absent in deep sleep. So I say I don't see anything. All the 3 states are different from the real self. I'm none of them. I'm not a waker. I'm not a dreamer. I'm not a sleeper. So these, you again remember, I'm reminding you the first 2 steps, Mangalacharan is first. Second is, I have to apply the discernment and dispassion. I have understood it clearly. And then I start applying. I come to the 3 states of the mind, sleeper, waker, and now the master goes into the 6th, 7th, 8th, and the 9th. These are 4 verses. So what he started saying, that consciousness, that real self is different from objects, like dream consciousness. In all the 3 states, there is only one consciousness. That one consciousness is different from sleeping, waking, and dream. So that self is of the nature of the supreme bliss, as it is the seat of ultimate love. Because it is the seat of ultimate love, I love that real self, means my mind loves that real self ultimately. So my mind gives me the feeling I should not stop existing. I continue to exist. Nearest one dies, your nearest one dies. It is life, everyone dies. But still, I cannot think of myself dying. Do you see that? We cannot imagine. We make a statement, even for our mom and dad. Come on. I'm pointing you to the real self. That pure, that real self is subjective reality. My dad, my mom, and the whom I love outside is the objective reality. mind separates completely, deeper inside. That love is not for anything else, not for the mortal. Thus, by the self is the supreme existence. Master proves that real self is you. And then we will go and discover and recognize and realize what is real self. That leads us to awakening, that leads us to realization. So let us continue our journey to that happiness. Now, the master, now where the problem comes, you have to go slowly with the extraordinary awareness in the mind where the delusion takes over. Now, in the 8th verse, I'm repeating it, but in a sequence so that you understand how the master's genius is working. Indeed, Master says in the 8th verse, Manam bhuvam hi bhuvayasam. Such a beautiful sentence. What he says, indeed the love, may I not cease to be. May I always be. Is seen to be directed to the self. Some awareness. Is that awareness is not in you? That I don't want to stop existing. That awareness is already there with all of us. That is coming from the real self. That is always there. That is always there. Pay attention how the delusion is taking place. So he's taking us into the 9th verse, and love for all other things is for the sake of the self, but the love for the self is not for the sake of anything else. That is very clear. We all are extremely selfish. Selfish in Sanskrit or Hindi means swarth. Sanskrit word, swarth. And the literal meaning of the swarth means the goal of life is to find the self. But that has been literally translated as selfishness in English. Love for all other things is for the sake of the self. If I don't exist, what I have to do with the mansion or 50 cars or $50 billion? Do you see that the simple logic? But because of the delusion, I override, my mind overrides. Look at it, I'm rich. I'm Elon Musk. So don't think that only Elon Musk. I'm your husband. Do you dare? Or you can say, I'm your wife. Do you dare? It is the same ego. It is the same delusion. You have to understand this point also. It is the same ego. From a smaller, you're speaking in your home. He is speaking to the world. That's the only difference. Quantitative difference, qualitative difference, no. Everything in the room shines because of this light bulb. You don't love the chair for the chair. You love the comfort it brings you. Are you understanding? You have to contemplate. The self is that light bulb of joy behind all loves. Master is coming. That is what the 9th verse. I did not pick up that essence before. So I said, let us go. The self is of the nature of supreme bliss, permanent happiness. We already understood it. Everyone has the wish Everyone wishes, why? May I never cease to exist. I will continue to exist forever. Because that real self continues to exist forever. It is all pervading, it is infinite. That is why my mind is thinking like this. Otherwise, how can the mind think of this? May I never cease to exist. Every object is loved only for the sake of the self. The self alone is loved for its own sake. Hence, what I said, the self alone is loved for its own sake. The self loves the self for the sake of the self. Are you understanding? Self loves the self for the sake of the self. Hence, it is the supreme bliss. It is not the body. It is not the mind. It is not my honey. To be very open, to be very clear, it is not my honey. It is not the nation. It is not the society. Far from there comes the universal desire for immortality. But the real self is already immortal. When you go outside, it becomes a religion. When you go inside, it becomes an Eastern wisdom. Then you have a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of stuff and metaphors and other stuff comes. I have a fear of death. I give you a few examples. You have to contemplate and reflect. So I have a fear of death. Ask yourself, why don't I want to cease? Because of my true nature. My true nature gives me that intuition itself is worthy of eternity. So I don't want to die. Does not mean I, the body, mind, intellect, and ego. I, the real self. That never dies. So you look at how the journey of Eastern wisdom starts. I love my child. Sorry. I love my son. You love the joy, warmth, meaning you experience in that relationship. Are you understanding? I love my honey. So you love the joy, warmth you experience in that relationship. Clear? Not selfish, simply honest. The joy is in the self. Chai and the sun or the relationship or honey is a beautiful reflector. Your honey is a reflector of the joy present in the real self. You experience in that relationship. Are you getting it? Make it simple. Where you experience the happiness. So you say, I love you, honey. So do you experience the love in your honey or you feel the love inside you? I don't you feel the love inside, not outside. Happiness inside, not outside. As Elon Musk says, I feel the love for the dollar in the bank account. So then he would love Bank of America or PNC Bank and other banks. I don't know where he's keeping the money. I'm just giving an example. Do you see that? Did you understand that point? Clear? You understood? Love, happiness, joy that you experience. Then why you fight outside? Why fight means delusion, anger, hesitate, unnecessary. When I say I love this, what exactly am I loving? Tell me. If the thing or the person were there, but I felt no joy, would I still call it love? No. Ah, love I feel inside. Come to a conclusion. What is not negotiable? What is not negotiable? I cannot stop existing. Are you understanding? The rest is negotiable. I'm not explaining it openly. You have to, you have to, you have to conclude. Everything outside is negotiable. One desire we never drop. So masters have found out. Masters have found out. Masters have found out that is what the Satchit Anand is. That is the real nature. This week, when you listen to it, contemplate and reflect, then ask the question why I'm not recognizing and realizing and experiencing the real self. Now it is proved. You know, in science we say, proof, give me the proof. I have given you the proof. So now think, still I'm not the real self. Why? How? What happened? Then we will take up the another 5 or 6 verses that we have done almost last year. We will repeat so that you are very clear how the mind enters into delusion, ignorance, and the suffering. That is all for today. Yes, Dennis, you want to say something?
Yes, I was contemplating on these statements like, may I always exist. But the question is it even possible for the self to stop existing if the self is eternal and it never started, so it will never end, so it will always exist whether I want it or whether I don't want it. So if I have the desire to continue to exist, I think on one hand it points at my real nature that is eternal, but on the other hand it points to the delusion where I presume that it is possible for me to die, and that presumption comes from my association or identification with whatever is happening with the body and the mind. Um, and the other statement that the self loves the self for the sake of the self. And again, I'm thinking about it uh, through this question. Is it even possible for the self to not love the self if self is all pervading and is permanent happiness? Then naturally the self cannot hate the self because then it cannot be permanent happiness. And on the other hand, again, when we say I love something or someone, it also points at the real self because that something or someone, uh, for us, it only appears to be someone or something, but in essence, it is still the same real self.
Beautifully said. You summarized everything. I love you all. No, You all are reflector to my real self. You all act as a reflector. So why should I have a reflector of pain or reaction or anger? Because it hides my real self. The real self is of the nature of love. So let me love everyone. Religion gives you 10 different answers because this God and that God. We don't say. Why we should say? There is no need. We transcend all the religion also. But it doesn't mean that we reject religion. No, no, you say, okay, every religion is good. For us, everyone is good. Look at the beauty, the insight, the intuition. And go back what I said in the very beginning, Einstein. It can only be understanding is required. You cannot keep the peace by force, happiness by force, love by force. Not possible. Try. Honey, from tomorrow you love me. Honey says, hell with you, get lost. I'm leaving you. Yes, David and Jay.
Thank you. Yeah, we as humans just make life so complicated, and you know
Yeah.
what, it's what this highlights is how simple it really is. And we, you know, society, ourselves, we just make it so dang complicated. Because we are peace, we are love, we are happiness. Everything we're trying outside to achieve is within us, and it's this wackiness that we're, you know, we're fortunate enough that we're be able to kind of take a different perspective and break it apart and really see what true happiness is. So that's my takeaway. Thank you.
Beautiful, yes. Even thinking that I'm of the nature of love, peace, happiness, truth, and wisdom. No, even for a moment, it changes your entire mental state. What to talk of realizing it? Realizing is definitely is a great achievement. Even thinking. So when I think I'm of the nature of love, and yesterday I had a fight with the honey, and I'm constantly thinking how to get it. No, I'm just giving an example. I don't fight. So you see that your mind changes. Even thinking of this. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Yeah, I feel like it emphasizes the small I that's that individual I that we become so attached to, this body, all our thoughts, our feelings, our everything that's changing. We think our roles, our responsibilities, all of that. And until we don't see that anymore, or we are able to separate that, and see the consciousness in everyone, that love in everyone, is the same. And that's just where we're going. We're headed there. We're working to do that every day, through our practice. But until we really see that, we still have a lot to uncover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yes, that's a beautiful way to put it. Intellectual understanding is required. And I go back to Einstein again. He says peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. What is understanding? Peace is not outside. Where it is not outside? In power, in authority. Peace is not present in event, in relationship. Peace, I see you are peaceful because you are acting as a reflector of the peace already present in me. The love present in me, the happiness present in me, the joy present in me. At all time? Yes. Someone takes birth? Yes. Someone dies? Yes. It's a nature's programming. I cannot help. So the master gave us that. We will talk later, but it came to my mind. Oh, my dad died, yes, in 89, to help me continue to evolve, to recognize that I need not to be attached to any relationship outside. I should pay respect to every relationship outside because they act as a reflector of my love and peace present in me. So I need not to grieve. Are you understanding? I need not to grieve. I need not to grieve for a week. She told me that, how dare you keep your calm when someone nearest one dies? I'm asking you to find the answer of that by yourself. How are you, Kristen?
Thank you, Girish. I really, what stuck with me the most is the beautiful realization of that I am happiness, and it's not something that's inside this body. It is who we are. So it's when you said happiness is not in me, I am happiness, it just gave me the full body chills. And I was like, oh, that is hitting my soul to the core of like, yes. So, and it brings, yeah, so much peace and warmth realizing this. So thank you.
I am happiness. Who consciously, consistently realizes he has to be an individual. I am happiness. All the time, since the beginning of this earth. That is God. Now I'm coming to the concept of the God. But I do meditate and then I experience the happiness inside me. Hence, I'm an individual consciousness. He is God. He always experiences. He has no ignorance. I have the ignorance. He controls the delusion. I am controlled by the delusion. That is why I'm an individual. I have to become a seeker. I have to start the journey of the Eastern wisdom for a self discovery to realize that. So we have a God, then we have an individual consciousness. It is controlled by the ignorance or delusion, etc. He controls the illusion. And the third factor is what we see the nature, Maya, delusion, Prakriti. Only there are three things that exist in the entire universe, nothing four. So we want to transcend that delusion. Because as an individual consciousness and as a God consciousness, they both have the same age. They are both are beginningless. We'll talk about it. That is, yeah. Oh, sorry, Ashok ji. And Terry is also there. Yes.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste. Please.
Sir, I believe that happiness could be achieved by Mangala Charan and Sahasra and the discernment and discussion.
Good.
Very spiritual, I must say. Thank you, sir.
Pick up the point. कमरे में कोई बैठा तो नहीं है? अच्छा ठीक है. How are you? Terry, you are happiness or you are in happiness?
I am happiness whether I know it or not.
That is a good point. That is a good point of the.
At times I do. At times I don't know it. I forget.
I love this statement because that makes me a seeker. You see, that makes me a seeker. Where I don't know, let me know it. Let me what I don't know, that I am of the nature of the happiness. Beautifully, Terry said. You summarized everything in one sentence. That is all for today. Thank you. We will meet again.
Namaste.
Namaste.